Well, we have just finished up a busy week, but a very productive week here at Clear Springs with our Vacation Bible School. And it was an epic week. Miss Jenny, another great week in the books.
Yep.
And you've done a great job leading the troop.
Thank you.
And give us some of your thoughts on this year's Family Vacation Bible School.
It was big. It was big. It was overwhelming. But again, as I said on Monday, the little problems that come with having a big crowd like that means that God sent a bunch of people here. And we pulled back, we regrouped, we worked it all out, and everything kind of came together like it always does. But that's God. God decides that He's going to bless it, and He does all the little things that we need to do to kind of fix things. And He just fixed all our problems. He just took care of it.
Well, this was Bible School 4 for me, believe it or not. 2 for these guys. Mr. Wonder made his appearance, and Mike done a wonderful job each night with the skit. The kids were so engaged.
Yes.
They loved it, didn't they?
I'm telling you, I was to be honest with you, I was even a little taken back, like the first night, how out of control it seemed to be when I came in here. But that's part of it. You know, my mind kept going back to your message from last Sunday morning. And you gave the illustration of Justin Beard. You know, he kind of took these decorations this year by the horns and did a phenomenal job. But when you brought up the fact that it's a tool, it's just simply a tool. And that's the way I felt all week, you know, these silly skits. It's a tool. It's a tool to get these kids back to hear the message of the gospel.
Absolutely. And we had a great week under the tent. We had record numbers for high school this year. And the tent was packed every night, overflow chairs, had some great local preachers come. Rob, you were part of that. Give us a little bit of perspective from what it was like under the tent this week for the teens.
It was incredible. The whole night, Paul started with games and had an incredible spirit the whole time, a lot of unity, a lot of moments even before the preaching started where it would just get thick in there and Holy Spirit move in, and we had some wonderful services. Like you said, the local preachers that came in, some pastors, youth pastors, just a wonderful spirit. That's one of the things I love about Family Vacation Bible School, and Jenny made reference to it tonight. The fact that there's a class for teens, all the way up through adults, really. But man, I think that just the Lord did some incredible things. I forget the number, but it's probably 6, 7. Somewhere around there, teens that were saved this week.
Amen.
It's incredible. Incredible.
And what that tells me is that there is that demographic of kids out there, that middle and high school kids that are hungry. They're hungry for the gospel. They're hungry for a place where they can worship with like-minded friends. You know, they get into school, they're going to be around kids who have a whole different value system than them. They are hungry for a place. And a lot of these kids who came, their home churches don't do, and that's not a criticism. That's just how they do things. And I'm happy that we're still able to accommodate that. We're still able to give them a place to come where they can learn the gospel and be with other teens, those other kids their age, and not be ashamed to see them out there worshiping the way they do. You know, it's humbling. We've got people in here that are so stodgy sometimes and don't want to show their love of God, but those kids out there, they're all in.
So a couple just to cap the weekend takeaways. How many were saved?
We had a total, tonight, how many were on that stage? We had 9 before we started tonight who had made a profession of faith. We had one little boy who came down during invitation who made a profession of faith. Another girl, I think, in the lobby after we were finished. We're cleaning up, and lo and behold, another little girl got the gospel in her heart. And so the overall total, we got to go back and check. Give us a day or so. We might have to tell you that at a little bit later. But before we went into tonight, I know we had 9.
Regardless, a lot of lives were changed. A couple other things that were highlights was the college class or the young adults class, 25 to 30 a night with the Noggles. So with those teens and with that college class, it just tells me that the devil doesn't have them all.
That's right.
And society paints a gruesome picture that young adults and teenagers are falling by the wayside and there's no hope for the church in the future. The reality is that is not what the numbers tell us here. And there's a bright future. One of my highlights, and we'll do this real quick, was for the first time in my life, I got to lead a young man that was deaf to the Lord, and he was saved, and Jill was my interpreter, and she became my mouthpiece, and I'd never got to do that. She had never done that, and that was awesome.
Amen.
And that was a blessing. So you got a quick highlight of the week for you?
Yeah, I think the overall, besides seeing the kids saved and the teens worship outside like I got to see, I think was seeing the amount of people that came together to do this, to make this happen. The volunteers,
Yes.
Pastor Paul and his team outside. I got to just watch them run games, and then as soon as it got serious and the preaching's going on, they're ready to counsel and be there. And then beyond that, I didn't see all that happened in here with the volunteers and the classes and whatnot, but just seeing God's people come together, rally together for one cause, one purpose. Yeah, it was an amazing thing to watch people come together and how God works in unity.
Yeah. We don't always see the fruit of our labors. We don't always see the end game for the work that we do, and it is exactly the same in kids' church. It is exactly the same in Sunday school, whether it's adults or children. It's exactly the same in the nursery. It's going to be that way in Teen Kid. It's that way in Unfazed. We are doing nothing more than planting the seeds. And I want to say to all of you who took the time out to work this week, you guys have made a difference, and you don't even know it yet.
Right.
You don't even know it. These families, some of these families are going to come back. We're going to retain these families. They're going to come, and even if they don't, somebody else is going to come because they heard about us through Vacation Bible School, what was done this week. And that to me is the biggest blessing, is to know that one day we're going to stumble upon the fruit of our labors, and we don't even know it's coming. I love that. It's like a surprise. God just throws it down on you.
And what's so cool, and I'm coming to Pastor Mike, what's so cool is if you're watching this video, it's easy as a volunteer to start thinking maybe that some positions are less important than others because you worked crafts or you made food and you weren't in there teaching the lessons. But listen, Paul talked about those that sow and those that water. It's God that gives the increase. And the reality is, kids are all in different spots.
Yes.
And some of these kids came back each night because they wanted to do crafts.
That's right.
Some kids came because it's one of the few meals that they get.
Yeah.
Other kids came because they wanted to see the skit. Others came because they loved the stage decorations. They loved the games. There's a variety of reasons why kids came. And so everybody played a very important, vital role.
Absolutely.
But what mattered the most was that part where God gave the increase. And every soul that was saved, every life that was changed, was a direct result of every single volunteer, regardless of the position. So kudos to our volunteers.
Absolutely.
You were amazing. You always are. My biggest highlight of the week.
In particular with the skits, because that's kind of my realm, it was wonderful. No pun intended, but it was wonderful.
High energy.
I enjoyed, I tell you, I think more than anything, I enjoyed the camaraderie among our skit people. We had several young adults who were helping out, and one of our young adults, Megan, she's down in Florida for college during the school year. But she had told me back around the holidays, she said, "Can I help out with the skits?" That's what she's going to school for, down at college in Florida. And I said, "Absolutely, come to summer months." Yeah. She was a tremendous help to us. Everyone was, but we had a chance to pray together before we came out, pray for God to move tonight, and He did. So we thank Him for that.
It was a great team effort. It was a great year. God moved. He blessed. We're already looking forward to next year.
Yeah.
We can't wait.
Open up your minds. I've already shared the theme with our decorating leader, so you all better be prepared, is all I'm saying.
VBS 2022 coming at you soon.
That's
Clear
it.
Springs. We love you guys. Thank you for your giving. Thank you for your time, your energy, and your effort. May God be glorified. This is the Lord's doings. It's marvelous in our eyes.